MX Survival. We believe in helping you protect the most important thing. Life. Our inserts make any bag a shield of protection. In uncertain times, we got your front and your back. Helping you stay ready. mxsurvival.com.
Looks like you lost another one.
You're watching MX Network, where the real voices meet the masses.
In this country, far too well and far too often do we know the stories of murderer cops. In Springfield, Illinois, on July 6, there was yet another one.
The cover-up started from just right after it happened.
The family, the community is hurting. The video is shocking, even with it being blurred out.
Why would it hurt you? You called us.
They're here in my house right now.
Okay, I want you to go talk to them.
No, hold on, wait a second, sir.
You can hang up, Conwell. It's good.
No, hold on, okay?
You can hang on for what?
Just 1 second, okay?
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay.
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop!
This is the story of Sonya Massey.
I mean, you know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to the fucking face. I'll go get my med kit.
Go get, yeah, hurry, get your med kit.
I mean, there's not much we can do.
Hey, County, do we have any idea who she is?
We were trying to ID her.
I think her name is Sandra.
It's just troubling on every level. I mean, black women don't get the consideration and the respect in America. It was Malcolm X who said that the black woman is the most neglected, the most unprotected, and the most disrespected. Well, in that video, you see disrespect for Sonya Massey.
Sonya called the police that night in fear of a prowler outside her home. Sean Grayson showed up and murdered her. Several weeks later, Sean Grayson was arrested for that murder.
How do you feel about the Sonya Massey situation? How do y'all feel about that?
I think police need to be restricted to their age limit. Because the teenager back then ain't the teenager now. They ain't got the same moral stability. None of that. So when we letting 22 to 23-year-old officers
It should be an age limit.
It should be an age limit. Yeah. And if I got to take a personality test to work at a hotel, why don't you?
I'm a criminal defense attorney around here, and they can't put no Band-Aid on a problem and say, oh, well, we charged you with murder. What about the 6 police departments he was a part of in 4 years? What about the 2 DUIs? You wouldn't trust someone like that to mow your motherfucking lawn. In the history of the world, violence like this has never been cured with peace. motherfucking video, bro. And he sent me into a full tailspin panic attack. And I wrote that lady's name on my back, no justice, no peace, and walked into the biggest hall in Chicago.
Even though Sean Grayson had been arrested, it did not quell the anger in the people, and they took to the streets, as we always do. Sonya's name quickly became a hashtag and a chant.
Say your name.
Sonya Massey!
I'm the mother of Michael Wesley, who was murdered by Chicago police June 16, 2013, and I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. Kill me, I can't fucking back.
He said, hey, to everybody, this ain't no fucking money grab. Like George Floyd was a money grab, this is not a money grab. Everybody come around, they do something when somebody died and try to get the money. This is not a money grab. This family is hurt. This family is hurt. This is not a money grab. So if you here to get any type of publicity, if you here to get any type of fucking money, get the fuck off. Get the fuck off. Get the fuck off.
I want to tell this family I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been on this front line for 10 years. 10 years. And nothing. My son was 15 years old, didn't have a police record, didn't do nothing. I barely on my side. They murdered my son, and I still don't have fucking justice. I've been fighting, and for me and the other mothers that I know for sure been on this fight front line, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It would have done something for us. Y'all wouldn't have to go through this right now. Y'all wouldn't have to go through this right now. We standing for justice. We ain't got time for no peace no more. This is not a fucking peaceful fight. That's why we got these fucking sticks. I'm ready to bust from their fucking head. I'm not fucking dead. It's no time for no more peace. It's wartime. This is wartime. So if y'all ain't prepared, this is fucking wartime. My sister, when your son asked you, Mommy, why is we here? You should have said, because it could have been you next. It could have been you. It could have been you. If y'all can make it to that DNC, fuck Kamala Harris, fuck Donald Trump, fuck all them motherfuckers. But we need to be heard because we need to be standing in numbers and stop putting 2 and 3 names on these motherfucking fighters. Because if you put every name on the fight, you ain't have no more motherfucking paper.
Say her name! Sonya Massey! Say her name! Sonya Massey! Sonya Massey!
Quickly, Sean Grayson's past began to come to light, and people began to question, why was he ever hired in the first place?
The sheriff is here is an embarrassment because this man should have never had a badge. He should have never had a gun. He should have never been given the opportunity to kill my child because he had some serious blemishes on his record. Serious. This man had 2 convictions for DUI. He had a conviction for driving under the influence. And he was a member of law enforcement? What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment to this country, to this county.
She was the only one. Where'd you go? No, she had boiling water and came at me with boiling water.
You shot her?
Yeah.
Other than that, that's, I think, it.
Anything else suspect?
Me.
Oh, I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm good. This fucking bitch is crazy.
Nobody's saying, wow, really? Nobody's talking to him? They don't be that quiet after they kill a nigga and they know they finna get away with it. That silence was saying, you fucked up, you're going to jail. And it's not whether they had integrity or not. They just knew he fucked up. When they come on the scene, they don't know what's happened yet. They're just going by what he's saying. But when they see her on the floor and they see a pot in her hand and some water, they like, on the floor, they like, nigga, a pot, a water.
7 months on, how are you still employed by us?
I don't know.
State records show that Grayson resigned from Logan County Sheriff Department after being reprimanded for his misconduct. And just 3 days later, he was hired by Sangamon County.
Logan County, and I'm surprised that somebody, a sheriff in Logan County told him, how is you still employed with us? A county that doesn't have a lot of black people in it and stuff. So for him to tell his, deputy, like, man, how is you even employed with us still, all that you doing? City of Springfield, when he applied with us, guess what he got? Denied.
With being reprimanded from the Logan Sheriff's Department and being denied by other police departments, why is it that Jack Campbell felt so comfortable hiring Sean Grayson?
Do you agree, before we conclude this, that there is a mountain of policy violations that you committed?
Grayson, who had worked for 6 police departments since 2020, had a history of disciplinary issues, including during his time with the Logan County Sheriff's Office in Illinois, where he was reprimanded for appearing to falsify information on a police report.
The country is upset right now. Emotions are on fire when it comes to the Sonya Massey case. Talk to me a little bit about that situation.
Shout out to the Massey family, and our prayers have been with them. I've talked to them, from day one. I know them. They run some of the family members run a boxing organization for youth and things in our community that we've been trying to help get funding to. And this incident and this murder happened at the hands of a sheriff deputy in a unincorporated area in our city limits, right? We have a bunch of what's called holes in the donut, right? A bunch of areas where back in the day, black folks wasn't welcome, that still hold small villages or municipalities, right? So they have their own police force, like the sheriffs. And it really happened, so if my boundary cuts off here, it happened over here. So it's close, but it's not actually in my district. It's actually not in the city of Springfield per se. So when we look at action and things that we want to do, we want to close them holes. Okay. So therefore, our Springfield police will be the ones to respond. Now people will be like, well, they're still police, Sean, but we have a better handle on our police. Our police are tasked with co-responders. We pull down some federal grants. That's that partnership with the state and federal working together, where we send mental health people out with our officers in those situations.
My understanding is that the officers that, as you're saying, did respond in this situation were not the Springfield PD. And actually, she was on the phone with them. That's what I heard.
That's
in
when
the
she
video.
wanted to come.
And she's saying, why ain't y'all here?
Yes.
Mental health was definitely a concern, as stated by her mother in a phone call she made to the police the day before, asking that someone would check on her daughter due to her state of paranoia. Her mother also stated that she was not a threat. Please do not send anyone aggressive nor racist. That night, Springfield PD showed up with their mental health unit and everything was fine. The next night, Sangamon County responded to the call with definitely a much different outcome.
My daughter is being sporadic, and she's been mentally having a mental breakdown. She's not a danger to herself. She's not a danger to me. But when she gets upset, then she thinks everybody's after her. And please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please.
Last thing my mom told me when she talked to me is that she gave me specific names. I'm gonna tell y'all, but she did tell me that the police was gonna kill her or these other people. And I'm like, why is that? And then after that, I didn't talk to her until like about 2 days later, and she was like, she had told me her exact words is, they gonna kill mommy, baby. And I got mad. We had gotten to it, and I'm like, stop saying that because you're gonna speak out upon yourself. And then the day, like 30 minutes before she died, she called me and she texted me, asking me what I was doing, but I didn't reply because I was asleep. But the day before that, I talked to her. She was like, I love you. She always just kept saying, I love you, I love you. And then she texted me, she said, God always wins and mom loves you. And then I was supposed to go home with her that night too. But I was like, no, because I knew something was off. I was like, I'm just having my dad bring me in the morning. And the next morning came, like 8 o'clock that morning. I told my dad I tried to call my mom back. And then that's when he told me that she was killed.
Paperwork filed by Springfield first responders showed Sonya Massey was recorded as not dangerous but paranoid.
In all accounts, everyone we spoke to says Sonya was a quiet but powerful soul. That she was kind to everybody that she came across. She was an inspiration and one that many cared for.
I met Sonya in 2015 through a mutual friend, and we also all worked together. Her and her mom had a really close bond. Me, as a mother, watching her, and I'm older, I saw and I knew Sonya as being a hardworking mother, loving her kids, as well as us all working. We all worked at Hope Institute for Children and Families, and that is a school working with children and children with mental and physical disabilities. You have the residential area, and then you have the school aspect of it. I watched her in action. I watched her advocate for children that didn't have their mothers, as well as go home to her own children and still, as a single mother, provide shelter with the support of her mom.
Sonya is my oldest cousin. We're only 11 months apart. We work together. Sonya taught me how to put creases in my pants. You know, long story short, my cousin was a child of God. One of the things that I pray for to make me a vessel, use me the way you need me to. And when I viewed that video, what I seen was God using my cousin to show what it is to be a child of God. My cousin was loved. She told the man who shot her that she loved him. My cousin was nothing but an example of what it is to be a Christian.
Tell me one of your memories about her that will make you smile when you always think about her and talk about it. Give me one of those.
Outspoken and being able to read somebody's character off the bat. Whereas some people, right off the bat, she can read you like, no, you're being mean.
As knowing Sonya and her spirit and everything, I think she would be disappointed that we are being peaceful.
As well as her family and friends, the community expressed their anger, frustration, and sadness, and their questioning of if the police show up to help them, will it harm them instead?
And to the family, I'm sorry. I'm going to speak as loud and as long as I can so they know that we have your back.
Hello, I'm Brianna Roberts. I'm 25 years old, born and raised in this city of Springfield. I am an activist. I'm an independent entity. I'm a youth mentor. I'm a manager. I'm a community member. I am loud. I'm one of the loudest voices in this town, I feel like. I've been to just about every protest that they've had regarding Sonya Massey, and I've been one of the front faces, talking to journalists, questioning the police, updating the masses, the people that aren't there, the people that are not able to be there or really don't care, bringing the questions to light that need to be answered, pressuring the people who need to be pressured to take things more seriously. I'm taking this as seriously as possible because it could have been me. The whole story has really lit a fire in my soul that was already there but has poured gasoline on the fire that was already there into an explosion. The only thing I can do with it is to be an activist in my community, be the voice for the younger people, influence the younger people that our voices do matter, because I'm one of the people that they're listening to. So clearly we matter. And that's who I am.
The U.S. Department of Justice is having a community meeting, and the chief of police for Springfield Department, the Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell, Alderman Williams, myself, Alderman Gregory, and a host of others will be there, and this is you all's time
to express how you feel with your concerns, your complaints, what they are doing, what they're not doing, and also your solutions.
All the cheers from the powerful speeches given at the memorial the day before turned into a different type of emotion when frustration and anger erupted at the community meeting, which of course we attended.
Say your name. Sonya Massey. Say your name. Sonya Massey.
I moved here to Springfield about 2 years ago. I live alone. And even though I already preferred not to call the police, I'm definitely not calling you now.
How can you reassure the community we safe calling y'all? Because y'all the one put these individuals in play. Just like if we had an organization, we created something y'all want, it's a law called conspiracy.
To the mic.
It's called conspiracy. So how come everybody else ain't being held accountable to have this individual Gracie in office? Talk to me, man. It ain't, all this other stuff is irrelevant what you're talking about. What about, hold on, what about the people that got assaulted that did get killed because it was people around? Come on, I mean, man, that's family. You know what I mean? Everybody that something happened to his family, to the community, it should be. But we can't call on y'all, so we got to call on the community. The community got to come together.
That's right.
Because we definitely ain't safe with the law enforcement. Because y'all up there the ones that's going to harm. Come on, man. All y'all need to be in motherfucking handcuffs. Conspiracy. Is you familiar with conspiracy?
When this first happened, you know, my own little fears came back. My own trials and tribulations of what I went through with law enforcement, or at times, whether right or wrong, it all came back. A lot of people say, well, Sean, this happened in an unincorporated area. Why would you say something? You ward to? Because my majority of my ward is black people.
Yeah.
What are we marching at in Ward 2? What we coming to make a stand at in Ward 2?
Yeah.
So I don't have no choice but to speak up for my people. Speak up for the people of Ward 2. But this cannot be the last of the conversation.
Absolutely.
It can't be just a conversation. It has to be action. Real action. Real truth. Real understanding.
So why are we sitting up here acting like we didn't have this conversation? You was present. What did you speak on it the last time? Greg Harris, where's Kwame Raoul at? Where's he at? Where's he at? So why are we sitting up here with this bait and switch game? Sitting up here acting like it's on us to express our grievances. George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, all of these are connected experiences. Stop acting like it's just here. We connected as one. It's a whole black experience. And it's the system that needs to be destroyed. That's, you see how they try to cover up our system death? What the father say? What did the father say? The father said it wasn't for a camera what they would do. So now what? So now what?
I was one of the first people on the scene to that accident, and I was called that night to pick her up. They wanted me to believe that the neighbor had did this. So this is a cover-up from the beginning. So when the sergeant showed up in that room, and the deputy told him, I shot her, how do it get to the hospital? And to me, that was a suicide. So everybody involved in that cover-up should be fired or reprimanded or both.
Like the night it happened, did you see the police over here?
No, I didn't see it too. I seen the ambulance with the lights on.
Oh, okay.
That night.
That same night.
And we right next door. Ain't getting none of that.
When did you find out that the police shot him? Did y'all think like an intruder? What did y'all think about that? Like the family?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know it's 2 weeks.
When did y'all find out that it was that she actually was killed by the police? Was it like on the news with everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, when I seen the lights outside, I'm like, you know, there's lights outside. So I finally came out. The whole block was filled up.
They tried to play it like this because they were saying that I get with the police that she had a problem with a neighbor or something.
Nah,
So
they when
that's a
they
lie.
had their little garbage cans out here. They garbage, they see us out here, they say hi and then go back in the house. They be like, hey, they go back.
Why do black people have to fight so hard to get justice when they're lying on the ground as the victim?
When we arrived on scene, we were trying to figure out what happened. We were looked at like they didn't know what was going on. They laughed at us.
After feeling very disrespected and definitely misinformed, Sonya Massey's family demanded answers as to why they were lied to and what actually happened that night.
All this killing, we learned that from y'all. And I'm gonna speak to you, Mr. Campbell, because you sitting up here with no remorse in your face. Ain't got one tear busting out your face. Y'all wanna count off the mic? I can talk louder than the mic. Okay, thank you. Get up here and vote him out. Come on, that's what we got to do. You see what we coming through? We come together as people. All of these people up here is elected officials. Vote him out. Thank you. Mike number 3. Mike number 3. Thank you for your comment. 40 seconds and then.
Thank God for the body camera footage. It's probably the most horrible and heart-wrenching thing that we've ever seen in our lives, but if it were not for the body cam footage, we would not have known that this occurred.
We're gonna turn this place around. The 1908 race riot started in Springfield and led to the NAACP. What are we doing now? We meet, and we meet. I'm tired, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time for all of us in Springfield to stand up and do something, to hold our officials accountable. We want transparency, we have to provide transparency. So do what you need to do and get up and get out and vote. Thank you.
First and foremost, I need Sheriff Deputy Jack Campbell to resign. And if he doesn't, we're going to vote him out of office. I need to see my people vote. I need to see Misty Busher actually speaking on this situation and not waiting until we have a community healing session and just sitting there with a mask on her face to hide her facial expressions. I need her to actually engage with the community. Because why are we spending money on militarized vehicles and Ford F-150s when we could be expanding the police courses, common symptoms for mental illness, and how to properly de-escalate a situation and how to not resort to your gun, and more long-term training so they actually know what it means to enforce the laws. I could go on about that for an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. There's a lot of things I need to see in this community, and put this on record, I guarantee you I will be a part of those changes.
Talk to the people about the importance of local voting and that's also going on now this election year coming up. Talk about that a little bit.
The presidential election is important, right? But these local politics, our seats, the mayor, those are the most important things that affect our daily lives. So while it's important for us to really believe and support local politics and politicians who are really trying to get jobs done for their local communities, because we control all the funding. That's our job. So you can have me, and you can have maybe another good person that's really down for black people and the black agenda and the things that we really need to do in our communities with funding and our streets and roads and bad houses and things of that nature. But if you don't have 6 votes, it doesn't pass. It dies on the floor.
As the community makes demands that Sheriff Jack Campbell step down, he does insist that he's sorry, but he also insists that he won't be giving up his seat.
Sonya Massey. I speak her name, and I'll never forget her. She called for help, and we failed her. That's all she did. That's all she did was call for help. And I'm going to say something right now that I've never said in my career before, that we failed. We did not do our jobs. And I stand here today before you with my arms wide open, and I ask for your forgiveness. I ask Miss Massey and her family for forgiveness. I offer up no excuses. You are the reason I ran for sheriff. My commitment to you has never wavered. It still doesn't. I cannot step down. I will not abandon the sheriff's office at a most critical moment. That would solve nothing. The incident would remain. I vow to listen and learn.
According to Sangamon County documents, the sheriff's office determined that Sean Grayson violated 6 department policies after fatally shooting Sonya Massey.
It's pure racism. That's what it is. So we can cover it up all we want to.
Amen.
We can say what the politically correct things.
Amen.
But we all know what it is. We all know what it is.
One thing I always say about politics is really not the seat, it's those who surround the power, is the real power.
White people, you should be embarrassed that over thousands of years you have not outgrown racism. It is an insult and a disgrace to her family that the sheriff refused to resign with his whole chest. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police.
Black man with no criminal history, went to college on a full academic scholarship. Every week, I'm on 2 planes traveling across this country, engaging police and community. The FBI in 2014 stated that many neo-Nazis and white supremacists have joined law enforcement across the country. So what do you think you're going to get in police departments when white supremacists and neo-Nazis are joining the police department, leading the police department, and creating a culture of that in the police department? We need training. The police, the command staff, the faith-based community, and the educational community needs to come together to create solutions. This is tired. We're getting tired of this. Eventually what you're going to see is exact retribution for this. You don't get to live and we get to die.
After the community members felt that their voices weren't being heard because their time limits were being cut off, no one was really listening. It seemed as though they were rushing them and continued to tell them your time is up. They kind of walked around with cards like Vanna White letting you know you had 30 seconds left, not really caring about what anybody had to say. They also didn't really seem to want to answer any questions, steady persisting that it was a listening session and that they would not be speaking back to the crowd. This began to irritate a lot of people, and this is when the meeting abruptly ended after a lot of anger.
That's just a way for you to not have to answer any damn questions.
I'm up here to say that I hear all of y'all that are pissed.
The police union representing Grayson filed a grievance against the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, arguing he was terminated without just cause.
But that union I would not agree with, and I would fight them to the finish in the court of law. It saddens me that he had a badge to begin with.
It was an incident that happened earlier that day, and I talked to 2 officers or whatever, and I believe that it's the same officer that shot my mother. I talked to his partner first, then the second officer, that's the one that I think is the one that did that. I talked to them, and they told me that because she was driving herself to the hospital or something, she wasn't even at the house when this was going on. But she was driving herself to the hospital. They told me that they were going to go there to help her, and then this happens.
She was trying to get help. She needed a helping hand, not a bullet to the face.
According to everybody that we spoke with, it seems to be truth to what's being said about Sean Grayson's fiance being a nurse at the hospital where Sonya was, as well as her father being a former employee at the same sheriff's department where Jack Campbell is now the sheriff.
Word on the street is that she was at the hospital for paranoia. She was going through something. Her mother said that something triggered her. They don't know what triggered her. So she was at the hospital. It's been said that her and this nurse had words or had, gotten into a verbal disagreement, and it said that the fiance called the deputy Sean Grayson, which is her fiance, and told him about the incident between her and Sonya. I don't think it's a coincidence that her father, his fiance's father, Butterfield, worked there and got ties to Jack Campbell.
I do know that the Stubblefield guy was a sheriff deputy at one point. I don't know his rank or where he was a chief or not, nothing like that.
Just so coincidentally, she got into it with your fiance, and now you're arriving to this person's house that's just got into it with your fiance, and Officer Grayson goes in and executes her.
Many, including our governor, say the sheriff ignored a number of red flags.
The sheriff has failed. He has failed to explain how he ended up hiring this deputy sheriff.
Sheriff Jack Campbell announcing his retirement today. In a statement, Sheriff Campbell says despite the former deputy being in custody, quote, "Some in our community want me to pay the price for that person's actions," adding he, his family, and deputies have been threatened. The sheriff adds everyone needs to make sure what happened to Massey doesn't happen again, which he says has been his mission from day one, but the, quote, "political climate has made it impossible for him to serve his role." He says, quote, "Some individuals would rather see our community divided and in turmoil than allow me to continue serving as sheriff."
The unnamed deputy was interviewed by the sheriffs. When asked if he felt threatened by Massey's hot pot of water, he stated in part, "Not necessarily. Once you started walking that way, I walked the other direction."
We plan on exploring every legal avenue to get full justice for Sonya Massey.
Sonya's story is sadly one of many. Sonya was somebody's mother, somebody's daughter, somebody's friend. Sonya is you. Because the truth is, as tragic as this story is, there will be another one that will soon follow. Let's not forget Sonya's name in a sea of hashtags and names that we scream that these tragedies have happened to. Turn on your purple porch light tonight in honor of Sonya. That we stand with her and her family and we don't let her memory be in vain. Sean Grayson sits in jail tonight, and he will probably remain there for a very long time. Many will call that justice, and I will tell you that we should strive for something different. Justice is when a wrong has been done and it should be corrected. I prefer to see where we don't need this correction and we live in a world where we don't have to scream names and put hashtags in front of them. I prefer not justice, but freedom. Let's focus on that. How do we find freedom where these fights we fight are not even necessary? Until next time, and there will be a next time, I'm Michi X, reporting for MX Network.